So I've written a number of articles that go into the challenges that someone can experience on their healing journey. And by the term healing journey, what I mean is that this will be someone who has experienced some kind of trauma or neglect during their early years, something that was very traumatic. And now that they are an adult, they are consciously doing what they can to heal themselves, to become a more integrated human being, to move forward and to basically live a life that is worth living. And as this is a journey, it means it will never be over. So there's always going to be issues to deal with, pain to grieve and to face. But of course, at the same time, that doesn't mean that someone's life will always be the same. They will always be in a bad way and always have this problem, because as time goes by, their life will change and get better, providing they do the right things and get hold of the right support. So what I wanted to talk about now is the effect of black and white thinking when it comes to the healing journey. So as I just said, there's not going to be a time when someone is completely healed, but through having black and white thinking. And this is said to be something that is a result of a developmental stage that is not completed. So when someone is around 2 years old, they would have seen their mother as either being good or bad, and then providing they get the right care, they would have merged these images. So instead of seeing someone as being a one-dimensional person and as being either all good or all bad, they will see them as a multi-dimensional being who's made up of both good and bad traits and parts. And of course, through being able to merge these images, it will allow them to have a more multi-dimensional view of the world as well. So people, the world, everything, even themselves. So when someone engages in black and white thinking on the healing journey, they can believe that, as I've just said, that once they get to a certain stage in their life, once they do a certain course, once they do a certain retreat, once they work with a certain healer or therapist, they will be sorted. And then everything will be okay. So there will be where they are now, and then there will be where they are on the other side. And of course, not only can this cause someone to have lots of highs and lows, but they can spend a lot of money because they can think, well, this person will sort it. And as I've said, there's always going to be challenges to work through. So this can obviously hold someone back and cause them a lot of unnecessary stress. Another thing can take place is that when it comes to emotional work and life as a whole, it is not a linear process. So if someone is grieving unmet childhood needs, and even if they've grieved the loss of a parent, they will know that sometimes they can feel better, then they can go back. It's very much not a straightforward path. But of course, when black and white thinking kicks in, someone can be feeling good and they can have another layer of pain can come up, and they can work through this, and then they feel good. And then the pain comes up, and they can, through identifying with their mind, the part of them that has the dual nature, they will believe, I've gone back now, everything's getting worse. And then in comes the catastrophic thinking. I often talk about this in CBT, where it's the end of the world. So again, this is black and white. And so this is another thing that someone will need to be aware of on the healing journey. Another thing that can take place is that someone can take, let's say, a big leap, a big step forward. And so they could move into a certain area, then they go back. They could try something and perhaps spend a lot of time with people, then pull away. And again, black and white thinking kicks in, and I was doing very well and now I've gone backwards. But again, it might simply be a case of they tried something, it wasn't right for them. Now perhaps they've just come back to recharge. But as I've said, it's not a linear process, and life is rarely linear itself. So there's another way. The black and white thinking can cause someone to create unnecessary problems. So with this, I would say the best thing to do is to simply be aware of when you, perhaps you can relate to this, go into black and white thinking, just say, okay, I've gone into black and white thinking, there's far more to this than my brain is allowing me to see, or would allow me to see if I was completely absorbed in this way of thinking, and just become aware of it. No shame, no blame. It's not necessary for you to beat yourself up or to have a go at yourself, because if you are carrying a lot of shame, perhaps you could do this. So simply becoming aware, and over time your life will get better because you'll be able to see that you are making progress. So I hope that helps, and feel free to share your feedback below. Thank you.